everyone. Good evening. Good to have everybody here. We'll be starting now. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Grace Ejimofo, and I'm going to be the moderator for this webinar. Before I begin, I would like to read out the house rules to everyone. Ask questions live using the Q&A button on your screen. Stay connected. Rejoin the talk using the link emailed to you at any time in case you drop out of it. Leave the live webinar. A link to the video will be sent to everybody's email after the webinar, so you could all go back to and then pick your learnings from it. We'll also endure you to join the conversation online by using the hashtag #GrowWithAdlantique and also mention at Adlantique on Instagram. I hope we all got that. So my name is Grace Ejimofo, as I said earlier, and I'm the Senior Account Executive for Adlantique. This is going to be our first Grow with Adlantique webinar, and our topic for discussion today would be effective advertising strategies for SME. But before we go into the conversation, I'd like to run you through a little about Adlantique. Adlantique is an advertising service company that provides easy and flexible, affordable advertising packages for businesses to help them reach their customers through the different platforms, whether you're in a micro business at the early stage of building your brand or at the medium-sized stage with an already established brand. Adlantique has the right bundle for you. To find out more and to get started on the Adlantique journey, please visit our website at www.adlantique.com. A link is going to be dropped at the chat box for you to go. And follow us on all our social media platforms at Adlantique on Instagram, Adlantique on Facebook, and at Adlantique on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Please note that there would be a question and answer session after the conversation. So in case you have any question, you can drop it at the Q&A box. We would run through them after the conversation. There would also be a WhatsApp support group created for 7 days for those that will be interested. A link would also be dropped at the chat box for you to follow. So I don't take too much of time. I would like to begin, and I would start by introducing our speakers. I would begin with Yemisi. Yemisi, please, would you like to say hello to us so that would get
hello everyone.
Hi Yemisi. So Yemisi Alabi is a digital and marketing professional, advertising expert, project management consultant, digital trainer, and business coach that runs a design and digital growth agency, Differently Consult. In the 11 years of her career journey, she has managed multiple high-profile programs and projects across various industries, both locally and internationally, with steady increase in leadership roles while driving growth, improved experiences, and significant positive impact on bottom line. Yemisi expertise lies at an intersection of design, digital and advertising with core competence in digital marketing, brand and corporate communication, design thinking, digital strategy, digital advertising, UI, UX, 3D animation, and project management. Yemisi is a foodie that lives in Lagos. I'm guessing so many of us on this live are foodies, but yeah, she lives in Lagos and enjoys traveling, watching documentaries, and speaking about various causes she's passionate about. Clearly, that's why we have her on here. Thank you, Yemisi, for taking our time to be one of our speakers today. I would also go to Ayodeji Agboola. Ayodeji, please, can you say hello to us so that we can familiarize with your face?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and lovely to be here.
Thank you, Ayodeji. A little about Ayodeji. He is a tech entrepreneur offering digital services to various business sectors. He's a CEO of Fly My Arts Digital Services, a firm involved in digital advertising and digital services. He helps build businesses navigate the complex online world with proven practical methods and innovation. He has been involved in web and digital solutions for more than a decade. He has worked with very small, medium, and large enterprises. He has also worked with multinational organizations such as Samsung Electronics West Africa and HP Nigeria Limited. He has personally trained over 2,000 business owners over that period. Ayodeji is a certified digital marketing professional with both Facebook and Google. Ayodeji is also alumnus of the Enterprise Development Center, Pan-Africa University, Nigeria. Thank you so much, Ayodeji, once again, and Yemisi. I will be handing over to Yemisi now to take us through the first part of this webinar. Please note that during the webinar, you are allowed to drop your questions at the Q&A box so that we would all go back to it when it's time for that. Yemisi, please, over to you.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Ejiofor. It's great to be here. Please confirm that you can hear me clearly and that everything works fine. So, welcome everyone. It's great to have you join us in this conversation this beautiful afternoon. My name is Yemisi and I'll be kickstarting this session on how to build an effective advertising strategy. I'm also here with my colleague Ayo, and together we're going to take this drive. I want you to know that you're in the hands of capable experts, not just people that have head knowledge about how these things work, but people who have actively practiced in the industry across various campaigns in various industries and continents to deliver value. So let's get right in. Here is a brief introduction of myself and Ayo. We are Facebook certified lead trainers, and we both have these feathers to our cap. We're certified in a number of other things other than Facebook platform. And so we just thought you should know that as well. Also, I'd like to reiterate the fact that in the course of our session, there are chances that you might have questions along the line. Feel free to use the Q&A button on this Zoom webinar interface. My colleague will be there to answer your questions in real time so that we don't lose those questions and we can deliver value to you. So before we get on, I'd like to meet you as well. I'd like to e-meet you. So please go to the chat room and let me know where you are joining us from. In the chat box, I want you to let me know what your business is about and where you're joining us from. I'd love to read from you and give a shout out. Okay, Nwenji Amos says Abuja is fine today. Amazing. We have a number of people joining us from Abuja and some people joining us from Yobe. Wow, I'm sure Yobe is very hot today. Welcome, Angela. Welcome, everybody. Let me read from more people. Okay, Alabi is a digital marketer in Lagos. Welcome, Alabi. It's lovely to have you join us. Who else? Also, I'd love to know what your business is about. In the course of our discussion today, it would be great to know so that I can use your business as illustrative examples for this session as well. So, okay, Victor, welcome from Port Harcourt. Amazing. Let me see more names. Isipa from Port Harcourt, you're also a digital marketer. It's great to have you on the session today. I see that we have a lot of digital marketers in-house. Liami from Lagos, she's in advertising. Welcome, Liami. Okay, let's get going. So, oh, somebody says he's an ICT service provider. Interesting. Dial is, okay, so when you're dropping your comments, please feel free to drop and click on everyone, not just hosts and panelists, so that other people on the call or on this session can also see your messages as well. Welcome, Kelvin, a digital marketer. Welcome, Tunde, who owns a construction company. Welcome, David. Welcome, Dio. Welcome, Victor. Welcome, everyone. Amazing stuff. So let's get right in. This is our agenda for this beautiful afternoon. We will be covering digital strategy, business goals, with target audience and channels and payments. And if you stay right until the very end, we'll have a demo session. Yes, we'll have a quick walkthrough on how you can set up a campaign efficiently and get rewarding value. So stay with me as we get in. So now this is the beginning. We're first going to be talking about digital strategy. And I know that a lot of people say this word very loosely, but I would like to establish a number of important things about what a digital strategy means to you as a business owner. I'll start with the word strategy. What is strategy? Does anyone want to help us in the chat room? What is strategy? What do you think strategy? A lot of people say, oh, I have my strategy, my strategy is in place, I know what to do, my strategy is intact. What strategy? What do you think strategy is? Anyone? Roadmap. Thank you very much, Elizabeth Vaughan. Roadmap. I like that. A strategy is a roadmap. It's a plan. Okay, it's a laid out plan. Thank you very much. It's a laid out plan that we set in motion so that we can achieve our overall objective. That is a strategy. And so when we combine digital to that word, we're just saying that how can we use technology to enable our actionable plans and bring them to life? That's really what a digital strategy is. How do we use technology to enable these plans of actions come to life? Okay, so that's what a digital strategy is. And we can do that by first understanding what our business goal is, okay, by also establishing what our financial targets are. I know a number of people don't really take this into account when we are going on to create a digital strategy. We just jump on various platforms and say, okay, you know what, I just want to make money. Let me just go online. Let me just use Twitter today, use Facebook tomorrow, LinkedIn next tomorrow, and let me just make money. No, it's great to have a goal. It's great to have a business goal and also a financial goal so that you can tell yourself, you can assess your efforts to see if you have come short of that, or if you've been able to meet that target, or you've been able to exceed that target. So it's very important that in developing your digital strategy or your roadmap, you've taken into account your business goal, your financial targets, the channels you want to leverage to achieve these goals, because the truth is not all channels are relevant to your target audience. Not all channels are relevant to your target audience. And as we continue in the discussion, we would see further details on that. Your digital strategy would also enable you to think deeply about if there are opportunities for collaboration. Collaboration is the name of the game now. It is how people are building and growing their network to reach even more people other than those within their immediate sphere of influence. Okay, your digital strategy would also help you map out your marketing plan. You'll be able to see if you should also adopt a few traditional methods, or how you can even move some of your traditional methods and fuse it with your digital plans. Okay, so the strategy, it's important that you think wide, you think far and wide when developing a strategy, so that when you come to use these technology tools, they can give you rewarding results and rewarding value. Okay, and at the basis of all of this is the customer. The customer, it starts and ends with the customer. You are not building a product, you're not building a product to be fancy. You're not building a website to be fancy to you. You're not building your social media channel to be fancy to you. You're not stocking up on products that you think are fancy. Everything rises and falls on the customer. So the customer is a primary focus. Your design efforts should be tailored to your customer. Your advertising efforts should be tailored to your customer. Your marketing efforts, your quality efforts, even stocking up, to know what to stock up, having that, knowing what to stock up in, knowing what to stock in your store as a business owner also requires you understanding who your customer is. So everything rises and falls on the strength of knowing who your customer is. And for some of us business owners here, like I saw someone that is into an agro-tech business. For some of us in that space, we might have different customer segments, okay? And it's important to understand this as well and know how to communicate with those customer segments. Okay, and digital, the beautiful thing about digital is that digital now gives all of us the ability to reach our customers wherever they are. Okay, digital platforms and technologies do not replace the strategic thinking we need to do as business owners, or we need to do as digital strategists or digital marketers. No, digital platforms just amplify our strategic efforts. Okay, we have thought deeply about our strategy. We know our business goal, maybe for the quarter or for the year or for the, for 6 months. And then digital now helps us to leverage the ad technology that these platforms have provided for us to reach our laid out goals. Okay, and digital helps us to reach our customers anywhere, whether they're on their mobile, they're on their laptop, they're in a physical store. Yes, you have tools that you can set up to enable those that physically visit your store become customers that you can reach online. And very, very soon in the future, in the not so far future, we're seeing that there are possibilities that we can also reach our customers in the metaverse. Who agrees with me? Let me see with the show of hands. Do you agree with me that there'll be a future very soon that would enable us to reach people in the metaverse? Does anyone agree with me? Or we just think the metaverse is a hula balloon? Does anyone agree with me? Let me see with the show of hands. Please understand that this is an interactive session. I am not preaching. So when I get your feedback in the chat room and I get your feedback around, okay, I can see the hands. It enables me to know that we are all together. Okay. So these are current statistics of social media platforms and current use. Facebook, as at January 2022, of course, Facebook has over 2.9 billion monthly active users. I mean, the numbers are huge. And that is why we keep telling small businesses that leveraging digital is the way to go. And the fact is, the world has changed significantly since 2020. And so what that means is that a lot of people are spending more time on these platforms to get value for to get value for their time and to enable convenience. And so whatever it is as business owner, the business owners that were selling, whether it's a service or an actual tangible product, we must understand that platforms like these are supposed to help us also sell convenience. And I want you to think about that, as a business owner. All these platforms available, how can I use it to send out my message in such a way that it delivers value and convenience to my customers? Okay. So, as I said earlier, it all starts with your business goal. And at the core of it, our business goal, our ultimate goal is to make the right offer at the right time, in the right place, to the right audience. Okay. And this is our ultimate goal. Whatever your business goal might be, a lot of people are so concerned with making money. Making money is a strategic effort that requires you setting up that goal first. Okay, for some people just starting off as a business owner, your goal might be to get so many people to be aware of this business. Okay, you're a developer, you want so many people to know you're a backend developer and you can develop an app in so and so days. You sell agro products, you want everyone within your area to know that you sell, maybe you own a poultry or you sell dairy products. Okay. Who else wants to give me their business goal? Okay. Let me go to the chat room. Someone says we are developing. Okay. You're an interior designer and you have an overarching business. You want so many people out there to know that you can develop their home spaces to be multi-dimensional, multifunctional. Okay. And you want them to know this. And you want to be able to, get this awareness. You want so many people out there to be aware that you do this thing. So some business owners will be focused, maybe a new business owner, for instance, will be focused on awareness. Their goal is to get so many people to visit their website, so many people to be aware that they exist, because it is only a business that exists that can be patronized. If people do not know you exist as a business, you would not be able to reach them. They will not be able to patronize you. Okay, so essentially, it's very important that you define your business goal, and your business goal is not the same all year long. Okay, every business has a business cycle. Okay, your business goal now might not be your business goal in May or in June. It might not be your business goal in December. Okay, so whatever your business goals are at any point in time, one thing we must always bear in mind as business owners is that we want to be able to make the right offer, using the right language, speaking the language that our customers understand, and making that offer at the right time, in the right place, or on the right platforms where our customers are, so that we can attract them, nurture relationships, and manage them, and nurture them to sale. Okay, and to do all of that, we must ensure that those goals are smart. They're not just going to be, goals that are far-reaching, goals that are just vague, goals that are vague. We need to ensure that those goals are very smart. They're specific. Okay, they are concise. They are clear. They are clear to even you. They are measurable. Okay, it must be quantifiable. I want to make 200,000 naira in May. I want to as profit. I want to make 5 million naira at the end of third quarter of 2022. I want to make this, okay? And it must be attainable. It mustn't be, if you're a business owner that has, your turnover in a month is maybe 100,000 or 200,000 naira. You can't say that, okay, next 3 months, I want to make 5 million, or I want to make 20 million. Ask yourself, critically speaking, realistically speaking, is this goal attainable? Okay, and we're not saying you should not be ambitious as a business owner. We're saying that you can have ambitious dreams that are attainable, so that you don't put yourself under unnecessary stress. Okay, you also want to ensure that your goals are aligned with your overall business plan. I see that Isipa says, I want to create the best-selling online platform. Amazing. Okay, best-selling online platform that would have so and so users. Let me help you. That would have so and so active users by the end of June 2022. Okay, I'll go further and show us, how we can create smart goals. You also want to ensure that your goal is time-bound. Okay, a goal that is not time-bound is as good as a wish. Okay, I want to make this. It's just a wish. But to make your goal very, very concise and very, very real to even you as a business owner, it's good that you make it time-bound. Let's have a deadline. Okay, let me have a time stamp to it. Okay, so that it is more real to you. And you would be able to attain. I see Hamed saying, my goal for this new quarter is to sell the best digital courses. Okay, it could be that your goal is to sell, let's say you have 6 digital courses. My goal is to sell at least, to sell at least 50, or to get at least 50 customers that would have paid for this digital course from April to June, or April to, or July. Okay. Amazing. Yes, it's good to add a number to that goal so that you would it would be a measurable, it would be a measurable and quantifiable goal as well. So I'll quickly take this case study to further buttress my points. Now, I'll use this story, and I love using this example a lot. I'll use the story of a smoothie bar. That is like a business owner that sells smoothie, juice, and all of that. Now, a smoothie bar can say, I want to get people interested in my product verticals and make 3 million naira in the second quarter of 2022. Now, I want you to answer me in the chat room. Is this a smart goal or not? If it is smart, that particular statement above, if it's smart, I want you to type smart in the chat room. Just type smart, 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 smart. I want to read from you in the chat room. Smart, yes. It's a smart goal. Yes, it's a smart goal. Okay, so let me just tell you how all of this ties into the word digital strategy. A person that owns a smoothie bar can say, okay, I can do this. I can juice my products. I can also do trainings. I can teach people how to make certain kinds of juice. I can deliver fruits and groceries already pre-cut to people's homes. I can create bespoke nutritional combos for those with health challenges. These are different product verticals that people have, and it's all tied into this core business, the smoothie business, right? Now, a way to make this, because you don't just want to say, I can do all these things. You can put a revenue target. Remember my second slide, a revenue target to each of them. okay, from my smoothie and juice sale, I want to make 1.5 million naira. From my trainings, I want to make 300,000 naira. From my fruits and groceries, I want to make 800. I want everything to become 3 million naira in the second quarter. Okay, so this, even once you define this very smart goal at the overarching, this overarching statement here, which is a smart goal, you can then break it further. What does breaking it further do to you or do for you as a business owner? Breaking it further helps you channel your efforts in the right way. So you know that because I want to make 1.5 million in the next 3 months, that means I can say I want to make 500K every month till, in the second quarter of this year. It means that I can measure, I know when I want to put out my juice content on Twitter, on social media. I know when I want to start advertising that content. Okay, I know when I want to start putting content relating to my trainings online. I know how I'm more intentional about my content strategy. So I like to say that a lot of times your overarching business goal and your overarching business goal helps you develop a digital strategy. Your digital strategy helps you develop a very detailed content strategy. Okay, and your content strategy would inform your daily efforts when you're online. Okay, so if for instance you feel like, times I will be available to take this training would be the last week of every month. Okay, so that means during the month you can dedicate some days to just showing the success stories of other people that have benefited from your trainings in the past. Okay, you want to put out those success stories out there. You want other people to see the value of this training, and you want them to be able to also come to you and pay for that training. So this is how your this is how defining your smart goal helps you to make granular goals that you can easily meet. It helps you make tiny goals and tiny plans, and it also helps inform your content strategy as you build your business. Is this helpful to anyone? If it's helpful to you, just say helpful. Just say helpful. Okay. So now, the next thing we'll be discussing is understanding your target audience. One thing we all need to know is everyone is not your target audience. Even though you're selling something as general as food, or food is what everyone eats, and food is what people survive on, right? But everyone is not your target audience, because if you, for instance, make food that has meat, there are people that are vegetarians. They don't eat meat. Okay, if you have a product that is maybe for skin burns or something, your target audience is not everyone. Your target audience are those interested, or those that have skin burns. I want to fix, I want to, need healing of some sort. Okay, so it's good you understand your target audience. Everyone is not your target audience. No matter how general product or service you're selling is, everyone is not your target audience. Okay, it's good to understand who they are. It's good to understand where they spend their time. It's good to understand their interests. It's good to understand the platforms they are on. And it's good to understand how you can best reach them, their motivations also, their challenges. Okay, and all of these things that you get to know about them helps you to build their personas. Okay, because when you know who they are, and you know where they spend their time, when you send your marketing messages to meet them wherever they are, you're going to get better engagement and better responses from them. Okay, so knowing your target audience, these are some of the things you need to know about your target audience. Where are they spending their time? Are they in Lagos? Are they males? Are they females? What do they do? Okay, what are their values? What are their opinions? Okay, etc. So let me just ask us in the chat room. Let's assume I was selling a product. Let's assume I'm a small business owner and I'm selling George fabric. You know George fabric, right? George, like wrappers and all that. Now, let me just ask us randomly. If I was, if I'm going to I'm selling that product, who are the people? I want you to tell me, first of all, where most of these people are located, okay, the people that will be interested in George fabric, where do you think most of them are located? I'd love to hear from you in the chat room. Where do you think most of them are located? People that are interested in George fabric are in Balogun markets. Nigerian mothers, fantastic. Fashion Facebook groups, amazing. That's very true. That's very true. And people underestimate groups. A lot of people underestimate Facebook groups. They are a fantastic way to find people interested in your product. Communities of people, going to find communities of people that will be interested in a particular product is a very great approach. Fashion designers, amazing fashion designers. Fashion designers would also be interested in buying the George fabric so that they can Igbo woman community, amazing. But I was expecting to hear location like Delta States, and all of that. But I see that most of us are just like giving communities and all of that. Because the truth is, on these platforms, on digital platforms, you have a capacity to send targeted campaigns to specific locations. If we stay to the end of this program, my colleague Ayo will do a brief demo so that you can even see how to do geo-targeting to specific locations. Okay, Delta State supplier is from Balogun Market. Okay, amazing. Okay, so let me go a step further. Let me take it a step further. Let's assume I'm a George fabric supplier and I sell George fabric, and my cheapest George fabric is like 45,000 naira. Let me drill down for that. I'm a George fabric supplier. My cheapest George fabric is 45,000 naira. Now, who are the people that will be interested in this George fabric in terms of their gender, and what do we think their age bracket will be? I want you to give me an answer in the chat room. I want you to give me an answer in the chat room. Who are the people that will be interested in this fabric, and what, in terms of their gender, and what do we think their age bracket is? Females between 25 to 45. Amazing. I love that answer. Alabi Hamed. Ngati Jalani, 45 and above. Okay. Please don't forget to use everyone when you're dropping your comments, because some of your comments, Ngati, it's only the panelists that can see it. Others will not be able to see it. So just click everyone when you're dropping your comments. 45 and above female, middle-aged woman. Olaimi says middle-aged woman in urban cities. Amazing. So Olaimi, are you saying that those in rural cities will not buy it? Students on cultural days. Interesting. Students on cultural days, but okay, I don't know if it means students in uni, or because I think cultural days are done in primary schools now, or the secondary schools do cultural days. Perhaps the parents of students that do cultural days. Elizabeth says those above 25. So you can see what I'm trying to get us to do is to see party people, is to see that we still have to think first. Because if we do not think deeply about the personas of people interested in these products, we will go onto these digital platforms and waste our money sending campaigns to everyone, not even including those that might not be interested in the products. Okay, so I'm just trying to show us with this very little exercise that strategic thinking needs to be done by us as business owners. We need to do this. We need to write it out. We need to be intentional about writing out these details, okay, of those that will be interested in the product, and then going to leverage these platforms to find them. And there's so many channels we can use for this. There's so many channels available to us. Okay, but before we use those channels, we must be thinking deeply about where our target audience is spending most of their time, what channels they use, okay, how we can repurpose content. Repurposing means, how can I create a video like this video we're doing now, this webinar we're on? Repurposing this webinar could mean that after this webinar, somebody on Adlantique's team can come up with a summary article of the key points we discussed here and put it on LinkedIn or Medium. Okay, Somebody from Adlantique can also say, oh, let me just do a short clip and put it on Instagram of the key points in the session. Short videos of those points and put it on Instagram. Somebody from Adlantique can also say, oh, let me just do a short summary of the items that are discussed under digital strategy. So that is, that's how repurposing works. It means taking one piece of content and squeezing the juice out of it to get tremendous value across various digital channels. Okay, so in choosing the digital channels you want to leverage to reach your customers, these are the things you should be thinking about. Where do my customers spend the bulk of their time? What channels should I focus on? How can I repurpose content? Where is my, what channels matter to me? Okay, all of these things are things you should be thinking about. And C-commerce is now mainstream. C-commerce is conversational commerce. Conversational commerce is very important in sub-Saharan Africa, especially Nigeria, because people like to ask questions. People like to ask questions to gain clarity, to see, to get to know more about the product, etc. So you want to ensure that, okay, you are also leveraging and setting up commerce channels, conversational commerce channels with your catalog enabled, with other features enabled. Something like WhatsApp Business allows you to do so many things that would help you reach your customers even better. Right about now, I will be, sorry, I think I've skipped a couple of slides. Apologies. Right about now, I'll be discussing digital marketing. And digital marketing is not just social media. I need you to understand that. Digital marketing is all encompassing. It's all your marketing efforts, okay, that is involved whenever you use an electronic device or the internet. That's the summary of digital marketing. Yes, other people have different definitions for it, but in very simple terms, digital marketing is all your efforts involved in marketing whenever you use an electronic device or the internet, because there's so many tactics you can use. I always use the illustrative example of when I was in Abuja once, and I was in a supermarket, and as I finished paying for the product and I wanted to exit, the cashier asked me for my phone number, and I'm like, why do you need my number? And it goes, oh, if you don't give us your number, the receipts will not come out or something like that. I'm like, okay. And I just mentioned my number, my second number. And immediately he put it out, the receipts came out and he gave me. And just as I was exiting the door, I got a thank you SMS. Thank you for shopping so supermarket SMS. Now, I want you to answer me in the chat room. That SMS I just received, is it a digital marketing effort or no? It is not. I love to hear from you in the chat room. That SMS I received on my way out, do you think that SMS act was a digital marketing effort? Yes or no? Okay, Isipa says yes, absolutely. Any other person? Yes. Okay, yes. So I don't just want us to think that digital marketing is just, when we're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. No, there's so many things that are integrated into your marketing efforts that can help you achieve significant value. And Adlantique is very, very Adlantique is Adlantique is very proficient in helping small businesses achieve these things. They would help you develop your strategy. They would help you set up your approach. They would think deeply with you. They will hold your hands with you to guide you through the process to get significant value from all of these channels. Some other people have things like Facebook Pixel embedded on their website, so that when people come to their websites over and over again, so that when people exit their websites, they would still be able to reach out to them and advertise to them when they continue their onward business journey across other social channels. So there's so many tools and so many resources that helps small businesses leverage digital to amplify their growth. Digital does not, as I will continue to repeat it, digital does not replace the strategic thinking you need to do as a business owner to reach people that matter to you and get rewarding value. Digital just amplifies your efforts. You have to do the strategic thinking and the strategic work required to get value, and then come and leverage these channels to get even more value. Right about now, I would hand over to my colleague, who would walk us through some polls. Don't forget to drop your questions in the Q&A. I see that we're not getting so many questions in the Q&A yet, but if you have no questions for now, no worries. I'll hand over to my colleague right about now. He will walk us through a poll. The poll is for Adlantique to get our feedback from the session, and then he would also walk us through the rest of the session. I hope you've been getting value so far. If you've been getting value, you can type in the chat room, value, value, value. I'd love to hear from you.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yemisi. Amazing.
This was a very insightful one. I'm sure a lot of us have take homes. I can see in the comment section that a lot of people are gaining. Right about now, a poll will appear on your screen. I will indulge that we fill it. This helps us know where and what to do next time, or still in this webinar. So please take our time to fill out these polls as they're appearing on your screen. What advertising strategies have you implemented for your business? It's just one click. So please take our time. I would allow a couple seconds for us to fill. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I can see that we're filling. Thank you very much for those that have filled. If you have not filled, there's still a bit of seconds to fill, but right about now, I'll be handing over to Ayodeji. Ayodeji, please, you have the floor.
Second poll. Okay. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you so much, Yemisi, for basically delivering a very value-packed session so far. Okay, if you can hear my voice and you can see my screen, please type in the chat Adlantique. I hope you know how to spell Atlantic. In fact, we have a gift for anybody who gets the spelling correctly. Alabi, you don't qualify. Okay, no, Grace, you don't qualify. Who else is there? David, thank you. Okay. Interesting. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying so far. Yes, Yemisi has taken us through the thinking. You know, today we wanted to basically show you how to think around advertising. And the challenge really, you know, I like this to be very, very interactive. The challenge really is that when people advertise, most of the time that they do that, they don't get results. Have you ever had that problem before? If you had that problem before, you've tried to advertise on Facebook or Instagram and you spent maybe 5,000 naira and you got 0 results. If you've experienced that before, let me just see you say so in the chat. Yes, Victor has experienced it before. Yes, Anita has experienced it. David has experienced it. Yes, and yes, and also, but from what you have heard today, from what you've heard so far, are you already seeing some of the reasons why you've not been getting results? Are you already seeing why you're not getting results? Yes, Ramon says yes. Yes. So confusing. Yes. Now you're beginning to see why you're not getting results. Okay, so now let me Joey says big fat yes. Okay, so let me just reiterate what we have learned so far before we go on our journey. What you've learned so far, number one, is that you must have a smart goal. You must have a smart goal. You cannot advertise without having a goal. You cannot, in fact, Let me use an example of you being in this class this afternoon. You had to set a SMART goal to be in this class this afternoon. And what's the meaning of SMART? It's specific, it's measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. You knew that this class was going to be happening at 3 o'clock, so that's a very specific time. It will be measurable if you attended this class or not. I mean, you either have to be here or you're not. You can hear my son join. Okay, so it'll be measurable if you're in this class or not. Is it attainable? Yes, even if you're on the road, you could make provisions to be in this class. Either you have your earphones on, you make sure that your phone is charged, or you have there's data on your phone. You have to make things, it's attainable to be in this class. And is it relevant to your business? Of course, it is relevant to your business. You want to learn how to advertise properly. And it's also time bound. You knew that it was starting at 3 and it'll probably be ending around 4:30 or around 5. So if there are SMART goals, even in your everyday life, apart from advertising, every goal that you set must be SMART. Okay, and I saw that some of the examples that we shared in the chat, some of them were not SMART. And it's so critical that you understand this so that your advertising can succeed. You must have a specific goal. Okay, what do I want to do? How much do I want to make in this quarter? How much do I want to make this month? This is how specific you must be. I want to sell digital courses worth 500,000 naira in the month of April 2022. You have to be specific. It will be measurable. I don't want someone said I want uncountable customers. What does that mean? What is uncountable customers? You have to be able to count. Okay. That's why the M in SMART is measurable. Okay, you have to be able to measure the number of people, the amount of money you want to make, the number of customers you want to get. You have to set a goal for it. You can't say, I want to have uncountable customers. No. Okay. And you have to then think about the strategy of how you are going to attain it. Like Yemisi said, if you're currently making 100,000 naira per month, you cannot set a goal that says you want to make 1 million naira this month. It's not impossible, but it is attainable. Right? You can grow you can grow little by little. And then of course, the goal you're setting has to be relevant to your business. And then it has to be time bound. You give it a deadline. Otherwise, if you don't give it a deadline, you would never be able to say, yes, I achieved it, or no, I didn't achieve it. All right. That is the critical first step. And then we went on to talk about the customer segments. You are doing all of this because somebody out there is a customer who is going to pay you money for whatever it is you're selling, either your products or your services. So if you don't know the customer, if you don't know who they are, if you don't understand the type of customers that are your best customers, everything you'll be doing will be in vain. And that's why I was asking, are you already seeing why your advertising had been failing? It's because you've not done the strategic work of being very deliberate. Okay, so first of all, write down that SMART goal. Second of all is to identify the customer segments. Okay, who was it that I wanted to use their business as an example? Just trying to scroll. Okay, let me not scroll. Just give me your business name, what you do, and I'll use your business as an example of customer segments, just so that we understand it before we move on to the next slide. Okay. Animes multimedia. What do you do? Do you do videos for people? Do you do graphics for people? I'm guessing that that's what you do. So Abdramon, for your business, which is called Animes Multimedia, I'm going to assume that you do graphic design for businesses. Okay. Great. That's correct. Now, the first question for you as the business owner is you set your SMART goal. After setting your SMART goal, next thing is for you to say, okay, who are my customers? Who are the people that need graphics and videos and all these multimedia things? Okay, and this goes for everybody who's listening, whatever business that you're into. After setting your SMART goal, the second thing is this customer segment. Who are the people who need my services? Okay, on the one hand, there are individual small business owners who need graphic design, who need videos to be made for them. On the other hand, there are bigger businesses who also need graphics and digital graphic and videos to be made for them. These are two separate, distinct customer segments. The way you will interact with the individual small business owner will be quite different from the way you're going to interact with the much bigger business who also needs your services. Therefore, you cannot talk to them the same way. You cannot talk to each of these customers the same way. And for each of the businesses who have given their business names in this chart, you will identify that you might have more than one customer segment. Okay, you would identify that you have more than one customer segment, identify them and write down their characteristics. Yemisi showed us a slide that showed us, this slide is super important, building their personas. Okay, what do you do here? Write down the customer segment. So for Abdramon, who is into multimedia services, customer segment 1, we call it individual customer. You write down their interests. What do they want? What kind of graphics do they want? What kind of business do they operate? What are their types of interests? You write down their characteristics. What's their age range? Where can I find them? Will I find them on Facebook? Will I find them on LinkedIn? Will I find them on Twitter? Where exactly would I find them? Write down their characteristics. And then you do exactly the same thing for the other customer segment. Is this making sense? If this is making sense, I want you to type into the chat Adlantique. Okay, is this making sense? Okay. All right, fantastic. So now let's move on. Now that we've identified the customers, the question is, how do I communicate with the customers? How do I communicate with them? Remember what I said to you. Once you've identified your customer segments, then you have to talk to those customer segments in a way that they would appreciate. For instance, if you wanted to talk to a corporate organization who needs your graphics, of course, you probably want to talk to them in the way that they would be able to do business with you, which means you probably would put together a company profile that talks about what it is that you do, talk about all the work that you've done in the past, so that when they look at you, they see that you have the capability to work with them. If, on the other hand, you're talking to an individual customer might not need to see your profile. They might just need to see a video that you've done before and be able to do business with you. Okay? Alabi is asking a question. Is customer persona only dependent on demographic variables? No. Demographic is one major part of it. Demographic means how old are they? What's their gender? Where do they live? What platform can you find them? What are their interests? Okay, so interest is already going away from demographic because now you're talking about values. You're talking about the things that make them tick, right? So these are some of the things that you have to put together. So it's a combination of demographics, it's a combination of that, and things like interests, their hobbies, and all the values that they have as potential customers, right? Alicia is asking how to identify segments. Sounds like there are more to the characteristics. Yes, Alicia, what business do you run? Maybe I could help you out there. So now, the question is, how do we communicate with customers? And there are many different ways, but we can limit them to 3 major areas, either via video, via photos, or via text. Okay, Alicia, you're into health insurance. Great. So off the top of my head, I would be able to say to you that your potential customers are, number 1, salary earners who their company where they work for are mandated by government to actually either put up some kind of insurance for them, health insurance for them. This is one segment of your customers. There will be people who are not salary earners who probably need your service, but they haven't really thought about it because they're not living in that structured environment that they're always talking about health insurance, right? So you need to also identify those people, be able to educate them, and be able to see how you can convert them to customers. A third customer segment for you, for instance, could be corporate organizations, right? Because corporate organizations need to offer health insurance to their staff. They're looking for the health insurance companies who can provide that. So that is about 3 customer segments that you could be thinking about, because these are your customers, right? Victor says, please talk about ICT. Your ICT is so broad. What kind of ICT are you offering? What specific service? ICT could be networking. ICT could be installing CCTV cameras. ICT could be building websites. What exactly are you talking about? If we don't understand the product or the service, you cannot understand the target customers. Okay, now let me give you how you see, this is the problem. You cannot offer all services. Remember what Yemisi said to us. Everybody is not your customer. In the same way, you cannot offer all services. There will be services that you are better at than others. So focus on 2 or 3 services that you know that these are your best strengths. If you say you offer all services, then you're going to be confused. Even you don't know which one to put in front of your customer. If I'm your potential customer now, it will be hard for you to sell to me because you're offering all services. I don't want all services. I just want one single thing. And this is why advertising fails. Because remember the slide earlier, Yemisi defined it for us. He said, putting the right message in front of the right person at the right time. This is advertising. Putting the right message in front of the right person at the right time. Your right message cannot be all services. It has to be one single thing in front of the right person at the right time. This is critical. Okay, great. Now you're talking about printing. Of course, when you now talk about printing, it's easier for us to now say, who are your customer segments for printing? There will be individual people, business owners who need to do printing services, either for their packaging of their products or for whatever it is that they need printing for. There will be business owners who are bigger businesses, medium size, who need printing of calendars, whatever, to give to their customers at the end of the year. There will be organizations who also need printing for whatever services or whatever functions that they want to do. Right? Easily, you can already see that it becomes easier to understand who your customer segments are when you focus on a product or a service. And if you have 4 different services, Victor, you can do your customer persona for each of those services. This is how strategy works. This is you becoming strategy. This is you becoming smart. All right? I hope that is making sense. Now, let me get into why I wanted to talk about videos, text, and photos. In 2017, Facebook conducted a research, and that research said that by the year 2020, yes, by the year 2020, 80% of your data on your phone, on your mobile phone, will be consumed by video. I'll say that again. 2017, Facebook conducted some research and came out with the information that by the year 2020, 80% of the data that you buy on your phone will be consumed by video. Now, what that means, and if you check your phone today, you know, on your phone you have this place where you can check which apps are consuming your data. I can bet it with you, the apps that are consuming your data are Instagram and YouTube, because you are watching videos all the time. Now, even those people who say, I don't have data, even those people who say, I don't have data, 80% of that small data that they have is still consumed by video. And why is this? It's because videos appeal to all of us more. And why am I telling you this? I'm telling you because this is what people want to watch. Therefore, the content that you will use to market your business should be what? Please put the answer in the chat. The content that you should use to market your business should be what? Wait, where's everybody? I've been talking to myself. Aha, thank you. Video, thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Victor. More of videos. Yes. This is because, exactly, if you open up Instagram now that you want to go and do something, what usually happens is that for the first 10 minutes, you are distracted by one video or the next. In fact, you will probably forget what you wanted to go and do on Instagram because one video will catch your attention and just take you away. Okay? Now, very, very important that this is how we communicate with customers. You can also use photos, you can also use text, but we see that people consume videos a lot. Therefore, you want to start to use a lot of videos in your communication material, your marketing material. Okay? So, and again, you have to then decide. Now I want to, if you've identified that you have two different customer segments, for instance, what's her name, who is into health insurance, Alicia. Alicia has identified that she has 3 different customer segments. Of course, these 3 customer segments require different things from her, even though it's all insurance. It means that the videos that she's going to create, she has to create one video for one customer segment, another video for the second customer segment, another video for the third customer segment. This is you being strategic. And I'll give you an example why this is important. So let us say that you have I run a laundry business. In my laundry business, I have 4 different services that I provide. I provide regular wash, which is a 24-hour wash. I provide express wash. You can bring anything to us in 6 hours. Whatever you bring to us will be ready for you to collect. I provide a stain removal service. I can remove any stain from your garments. And then I also wash irregular items. So let's say these are my 4 different services that I provide in my laundry. Now, you would realize that most times what people do is that they would create a piece of content that we have all of these services included in it. The problem with that is it is way too much information. Now that you post all of your services inside one content, what will you post tomorrow? So one smart thing to do when you are creating content for your business, especially marketing content, is to keep it single-minded. It's what we call single-minded. One piece of content for one piece of service. Okay? One piece of content, one piece of service. So I will make a video, for instance, and I can use my phone. It's very easy to do this. Today, you can make videos with your phone. There are free tools out there. There are free apps that help you make fantastic videos, right? You're talking about just using your phone and using Canva, for instance, using Video Shop would give you a number of free apps that you can use. So instead of me to create a video material or a video animation, maybe I go and pay Abdurrahman to make an animation for me. Instead of me to tell him to make me a 1-minute video that will talk about all my 4 services, I will tell him, make me simple short videos for each of my services. When I make a video of my stain removal service, the people who have stain removal problem will easily see that video because that video is all about stain removal. They're likely to see it and say, oh yes, This is a service that I need. But if I had embedded that service into a 1-minute video, they might not even watch it to the end and see that I also offer stain removal services. Does this make sense? I have just given you another simple tactic of how to create simple content that can get your adverts working. One video, one service. Okay, that way you're able to get across very quickly to your potential customers. All right, moving on. Also very important that in creating content, you want to express your business personality. Now, this is one of the biggest challenges that small businesses have. Okay, one of the biggest challenges that small businesses have is that they want to make a piece of content that is perfect. And if you're on this table, please just indicate so that, because I know there's a lot of people are on this table. They want to make a piece of content that is perfect. They will take maybe 80 photos of their products and they will not post one, because as far as they're concerned, that thing is not fine enough. Or they will make a video and they'll watch it over and over again, and they will not post it because as far as they're concerned, that piece of content is not perfect. Now, the problem, Abdraman, he says, honestly, this is why my business Instagram is not up to date. I know, because it's a big challenge for small businesses. But today, I want to show you a very simple way that you can do this. I'm guilty of perfection. Yes, entrepreneurs are creative people, so they're guilty of this. They want every single thing to be perfect, and because of that, they don't post any content. However, the people who are not as good as you, who don't have enough talent like you have, they are posting their content and they are being visible. And visibility is the name of the game. So how can you get out of this challenge? How can you get out of your own way and start posting more regularly? I'm going to introduce you to 3 channels. These channels are called the fast and frequent channels. They are WhatsApp status, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. WhatsApp status, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. What did I call them? The fast and frequent channels. You can call them FFC. Okay. Now, I want to ask you a question. What do these 3 channels have in common? Who can tell me? WhatsApp status, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. These 3 channels have one single thing in common that makes them very, very unique, and why you must start to use them. Who can tell me? That person is going to get a gift. Victor says post one post. No, that's not the answer I'm looking for. Thank you. No, Grace, don't be answering all these questions. Vera, thank you. Thank you, Vera. Vera has given me the answer I'm looking for. The content you put there will last for what? 24 hours. Yes, they last for 24 hours. Now, this is why it is your way out. Because the content will last for 24 hours, the content doesn't need to be perfect. Now, the content that you have been trying to make perfect is because you want to post it on your page and leave it permanently there. The fast and frequent channels does not keep content there permanently. Therefore, your content doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so why do we call it fast and frequent channels? Because people go there and consume a lot of content fast. If you go on WhatsApp status now, what do you do? Tap, 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 swipe, swipe, tap, 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 tap. You're just consuming a lot of content very fast. And you're also consuming a lot of content frequently because you go there very, very frequently. And because you go there frequently and consume a lot of content, you are seeing a lot of content. It's a great place for visibility. Marketing is all about visibility. Advertising is all about visibility. If you are not posting on the fast and frequent channels, you are not being seen. I already know that you're not posting on your regular page because you want your content to be perfect. but this is the way to get out of your own way. Now, what do you post on fast and frequent channels? It doesn't have to be perfect, remember. So Abdurrahman is making a graphic design for his customer. All he can do is record a 5 or 10 or 15-second video of him working, of him designing whatever it is that he's designing. And what you do with that video, you post it straight on the fast and frequent channels. What is going to happen is that you're going to get a lot of visibility. Again, another quick hack I'm going to give you is, it's not about you showcasing your finished work. It is also about showing how you do what you do. Show us the process. Are you a baker? Show us how you bake. Are you an insurance person? Tell us, teach us how you do insurance. Show us some of the work that you're doing behind the scenes. This is how you create content for the fast and frequent channels. Okay, we're still leading up to advertising, because it is great content that makes advertising work. This is why you must understand content creation, because you must use content in your advertising. If your content creation is not great, your advertising will also not be great. All right, so I hope we've heard that. If that makes a lot of sense, let me see you type Adlantique. And that's why this slide is around your business personality. Don't wait till everything is perfect before. Show us how you're doing, how you do what you're doing. Okay. If you are a trainer, if you're a digital marketing person and you're doing training, as I've been talking here now, I could have put up my phone, put it on the tripod, and I record maybe 15 seconds or a minute of what I'm teaching. And I put that content on the fast and frequent channels. It's going to get me a lot of visibility, because that is what I do. Okay. That is your business personality that you're expressing. All right. So also, once you start to get some of your messaging correct, you now know how to put out great content. You're not waiting for your content to be perfect. You're using the fast and frequent channels regularly. Now you have to, and a lot of conversations will start happening, because when people see your content, the next thing that they want to do is they want to interact. They want to ask you a question. And that is because from visibility, you start getting conversations. It is those conversations that will lead to transactions. So without visibility, there is no conversation. Now, some of those messages can come, many messages, and you can create automations. If you use WhatsApp Business, you already know that there are ways to automate some of these things. So WhatsApp Business allows you to create what is called an instant reply or a greeting message. A greeting message would automatically be sent to whoever sends you a message on your behalf. You just automatically send them a message. I'm sure you've all experienced this before. Have you experienced this before? You send a message to a number and you get an automatic response. Okay, so one of the things that I want you to do is, if you have an automatic response, please customize that automatic response. Don't use the default automatic response that comes with WhatsApp Business. Has anybody experienced this before? I've not seen anybody chatting in the chat. How many people here use WhatsApp Business and who have set up their automatic responses? Oh, okay. I have. Okay, great. So try to make sure that, not even try, make sure that your greeting message is not just one very dull message that somebody will read and just like, what's all this now? Make it exciting, make it interesting, make somebody smile with your greeting message. It's a greeting. Okay, so my greeting message, for instance, says, thank you for reaching out. I'm probably out there changing the world somewhere, and I'll be with you before you can finish 2 bottles of Coke. It's just something funny that I want you to read. But guess what? It creates a very great conversation between me and whoever it is that is chatting with me. Okay, so do something like that and create a very interesting conversation. Let the person who's reading it be happy to have a conversation with you when you get back there. All right. The same thing for your away message. You're trying to create structure. Some people will chat you at 12 midnight if you let them, but your away message will automatically kick in and tell them, we are not here right now. We'll answer your question on our next business day. On WhatsApp Business, you can set up an away message. It gives you a time. You can set where our working hours are between this time and this time. Anybody that sends us a message after that working hours, they will get your away message. Okay. All right. Now, as part of digital marketing, we have what is called email marketing. This is something that you can do if you have a mechanism for collecting email addresses of your customers. And I would encourage you to do it, because getting data of your potential customers or customers is very important. That way, just like Yemisi gave us an example, she bought something and they asked for her phone number, and just as on her way out, she got an SMS. Whether you like it or not, they have her on record as their customer, and they can always reach out to her with offers. We have 10% off on this, we have 20% off on that, and it can always bring in more sales for them. So you, as a business owner, create a system for your business where you can start to collect email addresses and phone numbers. You can even go as far as collecting their names if you want, but it's very important that you collect phone numbers and email addresses. There are many different tools on advertising platforms that allow you to be able to target your customers if you already have their email addresses and phone numbers. So it's great for you to have a system in place that allows you to collect that data. Okay, now let's move on to the customer journey. Now that we've learned about SMART goals, we've talked about customer segments, we're talking about advertising, the fact that you have to understand is that when there is what we call a customer journey, and it's broken down into about 3 steps. In some places, it goes even as far as 5 or 6 steps. But we'll keep it very simple. We'll make it 3 steps. Okay. The first step of the customer journey is where they become aware of you. So step 1 is awareness. It is also what we call the advertising funnel or sales funnel. Like a funnel, is big at the top and is small at the bottom. The first step is at the top of the funnel, and that's what we call the awareness stage. People become aware of you. They see your content on the fast and frequent channel. Oh, so Abdurrahman is into graphic design. I didn't know. Now I am aware. Okay. Now, the second stage of the customer journey is the consideration stage or the interest stage. This is where they are moving from being aware to now start asking questions. They want to learn more. They want to go to your website to learn more. They want to ask you a question on WhatsApp. That person has moved away from the awareness stage and has gone down the funnel into what? The interest stage. Okay, or the consideration, because now they're considering whether they're going to do business with you. They want to ask you some questions. Okay, so that is the second stage of the customer journey. The third stage of the customer journey is where they now become your customer, which we call the conversion stage. They have now converted to your customer. Now, these 3 stages, awareness, consideration, and conversion, can take time. Some, it can be quick. For some customers, it can be quick. For some customers, it can take time. For some types of products, it can take longer. If you're selling real estate, for instance, if you're selling health insurance, for instance, if you're selling to big corporates, for them to become aware, to consider, and to become your customers can be quite long. For some types of businesses, if it's B2C, I'm selling phones, I'm selling chargers, I'm selling the customer journey can be short. Okay. What is always constant is that they must go through the customer journey. Even if they became aware of you today and in 2 minutes they already bought from you, it just means that they went through the customer journey really quick. But it must always happen. Okay, that is very, very important for you to understand. And then There is also what we call the retention stage. This person has converted to your customer, just like Yemisi has converted to the customer of that brand that collected her phone number. There's another stage outside of the funnel, which is what we should call the retention stage. How do you retain this customer? That is why that business collected her phone number, so that they can say thank you and so that they can offer her different other products or services. And that is how you retain customers. So in your advertising efforts, you have to build for that awareness, consideration, conversion, and retention. Okay. So what should I be thinking about my customer, about my audience? Where do they spend their time? Because when you now want to start advertising, you know, remember that you already set your advertising goal, set a business goal. You now want to say, okay, now I want to advertise. I've created some great content over the weeks. I know the kind of content that my audience usually likes to relate with. Let me go and do some advertising. Okay, so where do my customers spend their time? Are they more on Instagram? Are they more on Facebook? Are they more on LinkedIn? Are they more on Google search? Where can I find them? Now, once that is done, you already understand where to find them. Next question is, what is the need? What is the customer need? Because remember that your business exists because you are providing solutions to a need. What is the business? What is the need that this customer has? You must be able to describe the problem that they have even better than them. You must be able to provide yourself like a solution so that when you are describing the problem, they know that you understand the problem that they have. Okay? What makes you the person that they're going to buy from? Right? And once you've been able to describe that problem that they have in such a way that they know that this person understands my problem, they are likely to want to do business with you. Okay? So let's use an example. Let's use our printing ICT example. Into printing, and you're trying to target businesses who want to print calendars for New Year, right? Now, you already identified the customer segment. These are businesses who want to print calendars to give to their customers. You have to then be able to talk about the pain points. You know, usually what are the pain points in that industry? The person who will print for them will not print the thing on time, or the colors will not be correct, or the job will not be a great printing job, or which are all the problems that are existing in that industry. You now have to create an advert that will solve all these problems. You can even have it as text. Have you experienced having blah 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 in printing jobs? Have you experienced this in printing jobs? Have you experienced this in printing jobs? We are here to solve all those problems. Look at our testimonials. These are all the people who we have printed for in the past who have given us great reviews. If I am a potential customer, I see your advert, I go to your page, I see on your page that there are testimonials of people saying you do great work. That is how I can eventually become your customer. Okay? So you have to think about these things and the content that you're putting on your page, because these are the things that make people eventually buy from you. So yes, this is the sales funnel I was telling you about: awareness, consideration, and conversion. Very, very simple. And in some other places, you then see loyalty, advocacy, retention as well. Okay. So there's the top of the funnel, there's the middle of the funnel, and there's the bottom of the funnel. Okay. All of these are simply a way to show you that advertising is always a game of numbers. The more people you can get to go down the funnel, the more people who are going to become your customers at the end of the day. Your job is to make sure that you are answering all of their challenges, all of the, you are a solution to all of the problems that you know you can offer to them. Okay. So Just to also break it down some more, you see that at the awareness stage, you want to show a lot of value. You want to provide a lot of evidence-based marketing, okay? Show people evidence of the work that you do. If you've done great printing job, show it. Don't be the type of person who will take 1,000 photos of your printing job and not paste it and not post it because you don't think it's perfect enough. Show evidence of the great job that you do. This is how you build trust, because there are no transactions that will happen without trust. If I don't trust what you're doing, if I don't trust your product, I'm not going to buy, even if it's biscuits. If I have an idea that this is your biscuit, you're buying it from a fake place, I'm not going to buy. There is no transaction that happens without trust. Therefore, your utmost job, your most important job as a business owner is to create trust in your posting. And videos out of the 3 types of content, videos, photos, and text, videos help you build trust quicker. Okay, and that's why we focus on saying try to use videos a lot in your communication and your marketing material. Build connections, nurture, and be product specific. Remember what I said. Don't be the person who is offering all services to everybody. No, people need to know you for a certain thing. You want to, even if you're in ICT and you want to focus on printing, let that page be about printing. If you want to have another page that is around graphic design, well, graphic design and printing is kind of similar, so you can do that on the same page. But if it's very, very different, you want to have it on a different page. Okay? When people trust, it's going to be easy for them to come and buy from you. And then you have to now put in strategies to retain these people. Collect phone numbers, collect email addresses, ask them to send you a video, a loyalty video, or a testimonial video. And if they send you that testimonial video, you give them 5% off the next time they are doing something from you. Okay, this is very, very important. All right, so what you're looking at right now is the advertising page on Facebook. This is where you can create campaigns, right? And the advertising objectives on Facebook are divided into 3. Remember, I just told you about the customer journey. We have awareness, we have consideration, and we have conversion. The advertising objectives on Facebook are also the same. If you want to create awareness, you use these awareness objectives: brand awareness and reach. If your business already has some awareness and you want people to start considering you, then you use any of these objectives in the consideration stage. Traffic is when you send people to your website. Engagement, this is when you create a post and you want people to engage with it. They can comment, they can like, they can share. That is engagement. You use app installs if you have an app, if you have a mobile app in the Play Store. Video views is great if you have a video and you want a lot of people to watch that video. So if you have made that 20-second video of you talking about stain removal, you can use that video here. It's going to show it to as many people who love to watch videos. If you are a service-based business and you want to get leads, remember, some businesses, you cannot sell outrightly. You want to get interest. If you're in real estate, for instance, nobody's going to buy real estate from you over the internet. They're going to say, okay, I'm interested. This is my phone number. This is my email address. Send me some more information. This is lead generation. So service businesses use a lot of lead generation ads. This is the type of ad you should create. And Yemisi also told us about conversational commerce. In Africa and in Nigeria, people like to chat with you first before they buy. So you can create a campaign under messages where people will be able to reach out to you either on Messenger or on WhatsApp Business. Okay. The conversion stage objectives here are for people who have websites, especially people who have e-commerce websites, conversions, catalog sales, and store traffic. Store traffic is for people who have a physical store. You have a physical store and you want people to come to your physical store. This objective here is great for that. All right. So I'll just run you through each of these objectives and what they do. Okay. Now, also important is to know that when you start to advertise, or when even before you advertise, as you create content on your page, as you post content on your Instagram, as you post content on your Facebook business page, you need to measure. You need to measure what is happening. Which of my posts is getting the most engagement? Which of my posts are people really interacting with? So that you know how you are faring. If you don't measure, you cannot manage the business. If you don't measure, you're just there doing, you don't know if your business is growing. You don't know if you're stagnant. You don't know if you're declining. You have to measure. Okay. So measurements, if you go on Instagram, for instance, go to page insights, go to your Instagram insights, you will see in the last 30 days, in the last 7 days, how have your content performed? How many people have seen your content? How many people have saved your content? How many people have followed you based on them seeing your content? These things give you a lot of insights into what is happening. And this is how you measure what is working, because you are measuring because you want to know what is working and you want to know what is not working, so that we can do more of what is working and do less of what is not working. You are going to experience this in advertising. Again, if you want to advertise, I would always advise you start with a very simple advert, a simple video that is maybe 30 seconds long, and you decide to run it for 5 days. And you say, I'm going to put 1,000 naira per day for 5 days. Now, after those 5 days, you're going to measure. You have to measure, okay, how many people saw this advert? How many people contacted us based on this advert? How many people, what can we do to make this advert better? Maybe we can try another video and see how it will perform against this video that we used the first time. This is what measuring helps you to do. Okay, and it helps you to create better ads as you go along. Okay. So Facebook already has quite a number of tools that allows you to measure. Like I said, your business page, your Facebook business page has what's called page insights. You can see the number of people who follow you. You can see the age distribution of people who follow you. You can see right here now, if you look at what's on the screen right here, you see that there's a great distribution of people who are here. In fact, let me even ask you guys a question. Which age distribution is the highest on this page that you're looking at right now? If you can read the chart that is right here. And Grace, don't answer, because Grace is always answering all the questions. Grace from Adlantique, don't answer. Okay, yes, Isipa says 18 to 24. Okay, yes, that is correct. But what gender? You didn't give me the complete answer. Which group of people is the most represented on this page? 18 to 24 men. Thank you, Isipa. By reading this chart on your Facebook business page, you can see that the men that are 18 to 24 years old are the ones that you have most on this page. This means that when you are creating content, they are your number one priority. You want to create content for your 18 to 24 men first. Then, if you are creating another piece of content, you can also create for another segment. Because usually, sometimes, depending on what you're selling, depending on what the business is, the content that will resonate with 18 to 24-year-old might be quite different from the content that will resonate with people who are 35 to 44. All right. So that is very important for you to understand and do accordingly. All right. So as we come towards the end of this session, I'm going to see if we can still run a quick demo, but since our time is quite gone now. But very, very important just to also see if you're measuring already, I know most of us are business owners. One of the tools, all the tools that you can use to measure your data right now, open up your Facebook business page, go to the insights, start measuring from today. Open up your Instagram business page, start measuring, go to Instagram insights. You can use the Facebook ads manager as well. It's an app that is available on the Play Store and on the Apple App Store. Install it. When you are running adverts, you'll be able to see the measurement. You'll be able to see how the advert is performing, and you're able to see what is happening with your advert. Also important is Google Analytics. This is only for people who have websites. If you have a website, talk to your developer, install Google Analytics on your website. You can also install Facebook Pixel. Both of them are measurement tools that allow you to know what is happening on your website. How many pages are people visiting your website? Where are they coming from? How long are they staying on your website? Which device are they using to view your website? These tools are great for measuring all of these things. All right, so start measuring today. Once you start measuring, it gives you a lot of insights on how to continue. All right, so do we still have time? I think we've run out of time, and I've come to the end of the session. I know you probably have a ton of questions on some of the things that I've shared. I think this is where we can answer your questions. And also, remember that this was put together by Adlantique. Adlantique is a service firm who offers digital advertising services for businesses. And that's why they've put together this training for everyone, so that you guys can also take advantage of it. So a lot of the implementation of what you've learned today can be done for you by Adlantique. And that's why we're here today. So you want to get your Google Analytics installed on your website, Facebook Pixel, you want them to go through the strategy for your business, you are in the right hands. And I think shortly, you're also going to get a link to a support group that will be shared with you guys shortly. So if there are no questions, I'm sure there are questions, just put them in Q&A or put them in the chat, but I'll be here to basically answer any questions. All right, Grace, over to you.
Hi, thank you so much, Ayodeji. This was a very insightful one. I hope everybody has been able to jot down their SMART goals by now, because, you know, without the SMART goals written down, this whole webinar will be of no point. Because of the short of our time, we might not be able to take questions like we wanted to do, but please write down your questions. And there would also be a support group, a WhatsApp support group created for you. The link is dropped at the chat box for you to ask your questions. I would shortly come up with a poll right now on your screen. Please do well to fill it. There would actually be 2 polls, but one after the other. Please do well to fill it so that we know how to serve you better, and we also know those that understood this webinar. The poll is on your screen right now. As a small business owner, what challenges have you encountered advertising your business? Thank you. Thank you very much for those that filled it. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. There is another feedback poll on your screen right now. This helps us serve you better in the coming webinars. Please know that we would also reach out to you when we schedule the next webinars for you to be educated. Please follow us on our website at www.adlantique.com. It's also at the chat box, and follow us on all our social media platforms at adlantique.com. We appreciate everybody that joined on here, Ayodele and Yemisi. It's such an insightful one that you've given us. I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody here that we have a lot of take back to. Thank you very much. Remember that the recording will be sent to everybody by your email. We would send the recording to you. So if you missed a bit of it, just know that you will be able to have a go back to. Thank you very much, the Adlantique team, also for putting this together. We have now come to the end of this webinar. I am sure that we all have gained something very insightful to take back from. And I would appreciate all those that joined. It was a very engaging session. A lot of people were engaging. Yes, I was the Grace. I was answering all the questions. Thank you very much once again, and we'll see ourselves on the WhatsApp support group. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.